So we're going for a walk in Garnteg woods. Garnteg means fair cairn or pretty cairn. A cairn is like a pile of stones that is there to mark some sort of, it's a landmark or it can be a burial mound. Cairn, cairn, Garn in this case, Garnteg. So that's interesting, because further up it's Garndiffaith, which means desolate or derelict cairn. There's an old wall all the way along, leading to the woods. That's not an old wall, that's a new wall. Quite horrible. So clearly they've knocked down this beautiful wall to build this pile of rubbish. That is vandalism. Go back to the wall. Yeah, mentioned here. Oh yeah, a man down there. What is that? Yeah, a mound. Sort of see the mound in the distance. My camera's not good enough to do a close-up. It certainly feels sort of spiritual and mystical. It's maybe because it's a winter's morning. It's the third day of January. I've lost track of the year already. 2020, and it does feel, it's crisp. It's not too wet. I've spent the whole holidays waiting for a day that wasn't completely wet and horrible, and this is the first one that's even close to that. Old farm building of some sort there. That's obviously not prehistoric, but it has got this big old wall in front of it. This wall keeps going. It's a good wall. I mean, it's fallen over in parts, but I think that's possibly due to people trying to knock it down to build other stuff. But ooh, look at that stone. That's pretty. There's a lot of wall. A lot of wall in various states of repair or disrepair.
I can't believe it. It's huge. It's wide. There's a lot of it. A lot of people, men must have took a long time to build. There's no mortar. It's all dry stone walling. And even though I've lived here all my life, I never realised the significance. There must be some boundary wall of some kind.
Yeah, I mean it's on the old OS maps as a ancient wall, but how ancient is difficult to say really. Goes round a corner. Interesting. And up. Ah! What's going on here? Huh. Goes that way. And it goes that way. Just don't know. Ooh, there's stones in there. To clamber over that. Huh. So I think up that way is the roundabout thing and the supposed cairn that was buried over. Huh. It's definitely sort of processional. Go down here. Get stuck here. I don't know. Go down this way. Maybe that way. That way, that way, that way, that way, that way. Ha. That's a little mound. That does look like the top of a something. Like a pointy thing? What that is. It's interesting. I am going to try and clamber over there to see the little pyramid-y top thing. See whether it is anything. My parents are going to stay here and film me because there's a lot of rocks and it's quite dangerous, and I don't think this is a good idea anyway. I'm going to go and see it. So, right. Sure-footed, like a goat. I'm going to put this on my back, balance myself. Right. Now just go over here. Be very careful because it's all mossy and... Right. Hold. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this because it goes down in there. Alright, I'm going to see whether there's another way to around. Ow! Black freeze. Maybe that way?
Are you anywhere near the tree to hold onto the tree? No.
No. Difficult because there's leaves in the way.
Show on your camera.
It's alright. I'm alright. yeah, this is cool. Right. So I think I'm over that. Right. Down I go. See you in a minute. So this is an interesting rock. I don't really know. Sort of pointy. It looks sort of... It looks like the top of something. I don't know whether it is. There's a lot of rocks around here. There's... I don't know. There seems to be, yeah, lots of various little rocks. But there's some over there too, some tiny ones. I don't know whether that's linked, whether it's just a natural formation, or whether somebody put them here. But, oh, it's like a hole in the ground. Look at that. Huh. Is that something? Wow. That is... Is it the capstone of something? Well, that's interesting. So I'm in this mystical, misty wood, and it does look to be some sort of top of a mound or something. It could just be a coincidence that it's just rocks, but it is interesting. Well, I think it looks like the top of something. Difficult to know. A lot of other rocks around here, but they're a bit covered with brambles, so it's difficult to really work it out. Back up over these mossy stones. Nice moss. This something? Look at this. Wow, that is quite some. That's definitely something. Yeah, look at it. I don't know how big those has the stones that it's on. They might go down for this one. See, this might go down a lot further than it looks, because that definitely looks like it's placed on top of them. There might be another one behind. Is that something? That could be.
Oh, that's a mound.
That is a mound. There's definitely a mound. It's a big top of a mound. Whoa, that's a big old mound. This is the entrance to it. There's like a hole into it here. Whoa! Difficult to see. It does look like there's a mound and there's a sort of entrance there, but you can't see it because it's very overgrown. Yeah, so that's a mound. You can see the top, and it's so difficult to see on camera. In real life, you can see this. There's another sort of hole in there. This is cool. My parents have gone the shore step way. I'm going down the slightly more down into the mountain way. I'm going to try and get back in a minute to join them, because I don't think I'm going to go that far down here. It's just they didn't want to fall, so they've got, which is wise because it's very slippery. Oh, what's this? Is that? Oh, that's just a tree trunk. Difficult to see what's going on here. There's sort of ridge of something there. What that is? Whether that's a modern wall? You see it? A ridge. Huh. Like a draining ridge? That looks fairly modern, doesn't it? What is it? A few interesting shaped stones and or tree trunks. I am not entirely sure. There's another pointy one in the distance, if you can see it. Just the sun's in. There's a pointy one over there. And yeah, that's a modern drain, isn't it? That must be for a little mountain stream. Now what's this here? What is that? Be an uprooted tree. It's got lots of stones in the roots. Because there's trees grown onto it, but that seems to be some sort of big old stone, capstone, with a like an entrance to something. It's a big stone. Some other stones there. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the main part of the path. This is a sort of offshoot because I don't want to fall and not be able to get up. Yeah, there's a lot of little paths through the woods. Just stepped up this one. I don't know whether that's something. Be something that's fallen. That looks like it could be one. There, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something. It's so difficult to see with all this overgrowth. Here, there's a sort of step.
It's like a wall there, look.
Oh yeah.
And this could be the step up into it.
Yeah.
Look, see, there's a
I'm
doorway.
looking.
That's a doorway.
It does look like a
doorway.
a doorway. There's a few things that could be. Yeah, there's another capstone type. Yeah, big stones. Yeah. Something here. Is it because they've been built in and they've got trees growing on them now? That's an interesting stone there. That looks like that was put there with a purpose. So no, this is something. Yeah. Also something that the tree's grown into, warping it. Difficult to know what it is. That's very handsome. I imagine it was very handsome when it was built, and there's a wall behind it. There's a lot of big stones in that wood. I can't really get to from here because I'm in the wrong place. There's so many stones. If I'm doing one way, I'm thinking I must be missing doing another way because there's just stones everywhere. The wall. It could be another burial mound. I don't know. It's something. Lots of trees fallen over. Lots of rocks. There's a bag for life there. That's fairly modern. That's obviously somebody's abandoned it there. But that wall, look at that. That's very closely packed. That's holding. And then there's something else there maybe. Difficult to know. What's that? Is that something? Oh, but look at that. Huge stones. Huge stones in the way. So interesting. And it's the sort of hole in the bottom of it. I mean, obviously they've been placed there. That's clear. But that is big stones. Somebody's put some meshing so it doesn't fall over for some reason. But, whoa. It could just be filled with mounds, but you can't see them because of the bracken. I hate bracken, stupid bracken. If there wasn't bracken here, I could see what was going on. Yeah, that is the Devil's Heap of Stones. You can see on the other side of the mountain, there's local legends about that, how they were trying to build the local church in Garndiffaith, and then the devil kept trying to heap it on top of there and break the church up. Obviously that was there way before the church. Apparently there's loads of caves underneath. You can see it. There's a wall going all the way up by the look of it. Haven't been there for a while. Last time I went there, I was I think 11, and I saw a baby sheep being born. Obviously a baby sheep being born because an adult sheep's not going to be born. Yeah. See, that hill, that might not be a hill, that might just be a burial mound that nobody's bothered to notice. That's definitely right opposite the Devil's Heap of Stones on the other side. Don't get too close to this because it looks like it's a big sinkhole. And it might sink some more. But this is a big massive sinkhole here. Ah! Getting jabbed by stone. Whoa! Yeah, be very careful. Yeah, I think I'll go back. That's too dangerous. The pit. A big pit. I'm definitely going to keep away from that hole in the ground because I don't want to be trapped there. There's an ancient little pond thing here that's dried up, but it's probably still marshy, so you have to negotiate around. I don't know where the pond was, but it was somewhere here. Oh, the ancient wall goes all the way up, still there. No, just follow where Dad's gone. You should be alright. On Google Maps, there's still a pond here, but clearly there is not. Oh, you can see where those reeds are. I'd say that was where the pond was. So, I mean, this is the side of a rugby, whole flat rugby thing. There's the Devil's Heap of Stones. The Devil's Heap of Stones. There's another seeming tump on the top there. And these weird things. What are they? Why are they still there? Something was going on there. The welfare. Remember when I was a kid, those weren't there. But where we are now, I just remember it being a desolate nothing. For as far as the eye could see, there was just, it felt like the end of the world. And now there's a rugby thing here and lots of houses, but that was the top. Couldn't see any farther. There's an awful lot more burial mounds, I think, but we really couldn't get to them today. Maybe I'll do them later on if it's a nicer weather. But I'm with my parents and they're getting a little bit fed up now, so we're going to go back. But yeah, there's definitely something in those woods. There's definitely burial mounds of various different descriptions. There's definitely buildings. Something. Definitely something. Who knows what it actually is, though. Stones there in the car park. Now, I don't know whether they've been tipped over or placed there. That is interesting, though. This is Severn View, where someone called Dennis Nash reckoned that he was working as part of a council building team in about 1967, and they found a giant piece of lead here and they sold it for 40 quid. It was like 20 foot long, massive, and it had weird symbols on it. Now, I don't know whether this is flights of fancy. I wouldn't put it past them to have sold it. That probably is true, and there might have been lead here. But then they reckon that there was a big sort of pyramid structure underneath that they couldn't deal with. They kept digging and digging, and there was supposed to be a block of flats here. They couldn't build them, so they moved them further, and they built this great big weird tear-shaped roundabout over the, which doesn't seem to have any real purpose, over where the top was. Now, there might be a little bit of fantasy involved in this, but it probably wasn't a pyramid, but there are definitely lots of different cairns or cairns here, and this is called Garndiffaith, which means desolate cairn or cairn, or possibly derelict cairn. So it's very, very possible that there's a sort of pyramid-y sort of type structure underneath this that they filled in. You can see all the walls and everything and everywhere. So I don't really know. I think it's quite interesting. Definitely, if you look at cairns on the internet, you can see that they do have pointy roofs, and there is a lot of pointy things in the Garnteg wood. So it's interesting. Spherical. It looks more like a teardrop. It's a bit weird. Here, sort of flat rocks. What is that? Huh. Ooh. Whether that was something. Yeah, whether they've been upended or whether they were, wow. That's definitely interesting. Whatever, even if it's a natural formation, that is interesting. There's another one here and a little one over here. Huh.
You're going back then.
All right. We just met a local who reckons that that's true, that they did find a big pyramid-shaped stone underneath. But he also said this is the end of the South Wales coalfields, and they couldn't really build the flats because of a big stone in the way there. But he said, what, a farewell rock? Yeah, anyway, a farewell rock, that was in the way. That's what my dad just said. But then there is a pyramid shape underneath that, and the person that we met was very adamant about that. He's lived here for 50 years, so probably around the same time as it was being built. Interesting. Who knows? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.